Hello, hi, good morning, all. I am Srinath. I am Srinath, first year. I am studying in Dhanlakshmi Srinivasan College of Engineering and Technology, Momalpuram. CS, Computer Science of Engineering. First year, CS.
Good morning to everyone. My name is Rashwant. I am from Andhra, Nellore. Now I am studying BTech in Dhanlakshmi Srinivasan College of Engineering and Technology, Mamalapuram.
Hello. Yes. Okay. First of all, thank you for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Mohammad Zairuddin. I'm from Hyderabad. I completed my graduation degree BCom Computer from Rajasthan University in the year of 2023. The percentage 75%. And next I completed my intermediate in 2020 with percentage 78%. And I completed my SSC in Systems Analysis Memorial English Schools in the year of 2018 with percentage 70%. That's all.
Yeah. May I audible, sir? Yeah. Yeah, okay, sir. First of all, I introduce myself. I am T. Mutkumar. I am currently pursuing Dhanlakshmi Srinivasan and College of Engineering and Technology from CSE department, final year. Then I'm from Chennai. Yeah, that's all, sir. Yeah, welcome, sir.
Andhra Pradesh.
Yes, sir, Andhra, sir. Okay, sure, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So, hi, good morning. My name is Dharna and I'm a technical trainer. Yeah, okay. Yeah, is it okay now?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So, yeah, like I'm a technical trainer and I have total 6 years experience. I provide trainings on multiple tech stacks, which includes Java and Python, data science, AI, ML, and much more. So today we are going to start with the Java introduction and we will go further. So before I continue Java, like, do you all have studied programming before, or this is the first time you will be studying?
Yeah, ma'am. I know C program and half of the Python
Oh,
program.
okay. And others, they are all new to programming?
New to programming, we don't have any idea.
Okay, fine. Okay, no issues. We are going to start from the beginning only. So I will just start with the introduction. Before I start Java, I want to first know from you that what do you mean by programming? Because Java is a programming language, right? How do you define programming? Programming means set of instructions which we give to a computer.
To do it,
Yeah, anything you're
to
saying?
do something.
Yeah, correct. Because computer is a machine, right? And in order to interact with the
Yes,
machine,
ma'am.
yeah, to interact with the machine, we have to use some programming language because computer cannot understand English language or Telugu or Hindi, right? So that is the reason we have to use programming. Now, in programming, there are two important things which you should know: compiler and interpreter. What is a compiler?
Compiler, the
Compiler
translate.
is check the
Hmm.
The translate human code into computer
Correct.
language.
Yeah. Basically, compiler is a tool which converts your programming language into machine language because computer is a machine and it cannot directly understand a programming language as well. So compiler is there which converts the program into machine language. How is machine language represented?
Binary language,
Binary in the form of 0 and 1.
zeros and ones.
Yeah. Then what is an interpreter?
Interpreter, it
interpreter
is
is
also
check the
Yeah.
line by line.
Yeah, correct. Interpreter executes the code line by line.
line by
Yeah. And there is another task of a compiler. It is to check syntax errors. Compiler
syntax,
actually,
multiple type
yeah,
of errors.
yes. Like when you suppose you are writing some code and you missed a parenthesis, you missed a semicolon, or you missed a comma. Like in those cases, it will give you an error. So compiler is actually inbuilt in the software which you will be using. You don't have to separately download compiler, right? So you all understood what is compiler and interpreter.
Yeah.
Now let's start with Java introduction. Now Java is a high-level language developed by Sun Microsystems. How do you define a high-level language?
It is a human readable language.
Yeah, means high-level language is that language which gets converted into machine language and it can run on any machine. It is not machine dependent, right? It can run on any machine. That is the reason it is called a high-level language. So Java is portable language. What is the meaning of portable? Portable means that you can run a Java program even without a software. You can run a Java program on Notepad as well. It is portable language. So here what happens is when you write a program in Java, I will first show you the structure, I mean the process of how a Java program gets executed. So when you write a Java program, there is a Java compiler which converts your program into byte code. Then JVM is there. What is JVM? Java Virtual Machine. JVM takes the byte code and converts that byte code into machine code. And then CPU takes the machine code and gives the output. This is the working of a Java program. Because of this byte code, your Java is portable. I think there is someone's mic is on. Can you all mute? I think Srinath, there is some background noise coming from your end. Yeah, now it's fine. If you want to ask anything, you can open your mic. Otherwise, like if there is a noise, just make sure it is on mute. Okay, so this is the working of a Java program. Now, because of this byte code, your Java is portable. Because of this byte code, I can run my Java program anywhere without a software. Now let's understand the rest of the things here. I talked about JVM. What is the meaning of JVM? JVM stands for Java Virtual Machine. Basically, JVM provides the environment to run the Java program on your computer. JVM knows how to execute the Java bytecode. So Java is object-oriented language. What is the meaning of object-oriented? It is a different kind of a programming style where you deal with class and objects, and you will study this later on, not right now. Now, why do we use Java? because Java can work on different platforms, whether it is Windows, Mac, Linux, Raspberry Pi, it can run on different platforms. Then Java is a general purpose language with wide range of applications. That means it can be used for creating a web application, a desktop application, mobile application. So, and for big data applications as well. So it has lot of uses. That is why it is called general purpose language. Then it is an object oriented programming language which helps in code reusability. Okay. Now let's understand how do you download
Small doubt.
Java.
What is code?
Yeah. You can ask your doubt.
Code reusability and what?
Yeah. Code reusability means that you
What
do
is
not
the
need.
meaning of?
Yeah. You want me to tell the meaning of code reusability, right?
Yes,
Hello.
ma'am.
Okay. It means you don't have to repeat the code again and again. You can reuse the same code once, more than once actually. But that you will only understand when you do object oriented language, right? Right now, we will not start with object oriented language. That will come later on. So you will understand practically how it is helping us to make the code reusable. Means we use objects to reuse the same code again and again. Okay. So once you do the practical implementation of object oriented, then I will tell you in that one. Because initially you don't have to start object oriented. So now next I will tell you some terms which are there in Java. Okay, these are very important. JDK, JRE and JVM. JVM I already told you, right? It is a Java virtual machine which enables your computer to run a Java program. So when you download Java, you get JVM along with that. Then what is JDK? JDK stands for Java Development Kit, and it is a software development kit which is required to develop applications in Java. Okay, without JDK, you cannot create Java application in your computer. Understood? Because JDK consists of compilers, debugger, documentation, all these things it has. So that is the reason it is very important to download JDK. Now, what is JRE? JRE stands for Java Runtime Environment, and it is a package which provides JVM itself. So JRE has JVM, different class libraries, and other components to run Java application. And JDK consists of JRE. JRE consists of JVM, JDK consists of JRE. So we have to finally download JDK. Understood this or not?
Yeah, ma'am.
Any- Okay. So I will show you how to download Java. So we download Java from the Oracle website. So you can write download Java, or you can just write JDK also. See, from Oracle website, you can download it from here. According to your operating system, if you are using Mac OS, so you can click here, Windows, click here. So you can download the x64 installer. Should I share the link of this?
Yeah, ma'am.
No?
Yeah, share, ma'am. Share.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
ma'am.
sending. Okay, after you download this, you will have to download your Java software as well. Okay, before I tell you how to download Java software, you can also provide your Java path in your computer, because Java programs can run from Notepad also. So you can set up your Java itself on the system. For that, what you have to do, I will just show you. Once you download this, you will get JDK, right? Now what you have to do is you can go to environment variables. In your system, you will have environment variables. You can click on edit the system environment variables. Click on environment variables from here. Yeah, from here you will give the path of Java. Path of Java means what? When you downloaded Java, if you want to access Java from anywhere in your system, through command prompt if you want to access. Do you all know what is command prompt? CMD. If I want to access my Java program using CMD, I have to give the path here in environment variables. If you do not, it is not compulsory, but it is a good practice to do this. So what you will do over here is, see like this, the steps are mentioned. Under the system variables, see this is system variables, click on new, give a variable name like path, and here you have to give the Java path. So what will be the path actually? Once you download JDK, you will get a Java folder in your system, right? That you have to go, and usually it is in the program files. Let me search from here, like I think it's in the C drive and program files only. 1 minute. I will just type one thing to know whether for me it is there or not. Yeah, actually Java is present. That is why it is running this command. But I can't see the name. Like it used to display Java or JDK. This one. 1 minute. I will just search like where to get this folder. It is in program files, but I think because when we like when it is when it becomes old or something, it is maybe like we have to search a bit. Okay, we can use a command line, like we can use some command to get the path as well. I'm just checking that. Common files, okay, here. But Oracle is not here. Okay, 1 minute. We can write this command. Yeah, see, this is the location of my Java folder. So it has changed. I thought it's in program files, but it is in downloads. Okay. This is the path you have to copy here in the variables value. Just copy this entirely. You can copy till bin. Or you can copy entirely also. Okay. This is the path of your Java. When you download Java, sometimes it automatically goes to program files, but I think we have to, because I have downloaded it very long time back. Okay, so you can keep it anywhere, but just make sure that the path like you can. This is the way you can get the Java path where Java is the command. If your Java has become very old and you do not remember where it is, you can't see in the program files folder, then this is the way to get its path. Now copy this entire path, okay, and paste it here. Its value this way. Click on OK. Once you click on OK, for me it is already added, okay? That is why I'm not putting here. See in the path, for me it must be here only. Means it is already added for me, so I'm not going to do it again, okay? Once you have added this, to check to verify whether Java is being identified or not, you open command prompt and write Java C. Java C means Java compiler and press enter. If you see this, that means Java is successfully installed. If you don't see this, that means you have not set the Java path properly. This is the step to add Java in your system. Any doubts you all have, you can ask. Is there any doubt? No?
Can you explain once again, ma'am? I didn't understand properly.
Which one you want me to explain?
From step one, you can explain, ma'am.
Okay, so basically we have to first of all install. You understood how to download Java, right?
I am.
When you download Java, you get a JDK folder.
um,
So this is the way you will get it. 1 minute. In the downloads, I'm having it. Means when you download it newly, you will know where Java is, right? It will be downloaded in front of you. So
okay.
you don't have to find the path. See, I have a lot of folders.
Yeah.
I'm just checking JDK. Like you will get a JDK folder. If in case you do not see it or you cannot identify where it is, go to command prompt, write where Java. It will give you the path of your Java JDK. See this one.
Okay.
Now this path you have to copy in your environment variables. Environment variables are used for giving the path of any application to make it identify globally in your system. If I want to run Java program in my system from anywhere, specifically through command prompt, I will have to use environment variables. So in your system, you will search for environment variables. Go to environment variables here. Now in your system variables, you have to click on path. If path is already added for those I'm saying, but it will not be added, I think. If it is added, go to path, double click, click on edit. Here, take your cursor in the new line and copy this path. Okay, copy this here. Once you copy this, click on OK. Again, click on OK. OK. And then in your command prompt, just write Java C. If you get all this, that means your Java is being identified. That means your Java has been successfully added.
Okay.
This is the process. Because we can
Madam,
run Java program. Yeah. Someone is asking. Hello. No doubts, right? Till now.
Um,
Yeah.
yes.
Because we can run a Java program through Notepad, right? So if I mean, when you write a Java program in a Notepad to run it, you need to use CMD, this one. So if you want to use this CMD, you need to add the environment variables the way I have told. If you want to try it, like if you want to try it right now, you can let me know. But if everyone will do, it will take time, right? So you all want to try it right now in adding in your system, or you want to do it later? Yes.
Yeah, ma'am, it will take time. We will do later, ma'am.
Okay. So
Again,
you today you do it and let me know in the next class. Okay.
oh, okay.
Okay. Now let's continue with the Java concepts. Now, okay. But usually when we create a Java application, you should always install an IDE. You should not do it in the command. Like in Notepad, we should not really do it. I will show you later on how to write a program in Notepad. But because you will be a Java developer, so a developer should use an IDE. What is an IDE? It stands for Integrated Development Environment, and it is used to develop applications. It is a software to develop big applications. Inside IDE, you can install packages as well. So for Java, what IDE we have to use? We have to use Eclipse. So you all need to download Eclipse. So go to Google search and write download Eclipse. So from here you will download Eclipse. Okay. And I'm sharing the link of Eclipse as well. From in this website, you have to download Eclipse ID from here. Click on download, okay, from here. Now once you download Eclipse, you will not directly get Eclipse. You will get an installer. Okay, you will get an Eclipse installer. Now I will show that Eclipse installer. So for me, like I have lot of files and folders. I have to like search. Its name is bit like different. Eclipse installer. Yeah, see, this is the one. Once you get this installer, you can open it, because this installer gives us the options that which version of Java we want to download. If I don't want to work with web application, I will install the simple version of Java. So it depends what version of Java you need. So for that, you have to use this installer. Okay, you will not download the first one, you should download the second one. Okay, Java Eclipse ID for 1 minute. I think it's not getting zoom. Yeah, this is the one you have to download. See, it will show the option to install. So install this one, okay? Without installing this, you cannot actually use Eclipse. Eclipse is an IDE. So once you download this, automatically it will open Eclipse. Or if it does not open, just go to search bar and type Eclipse. You will get this option. Eclipse IDE for enterprise Java and web developers. So let it open, then I will show you how you create a new Java application here. So here it will ask you the location, okay? Now it's your wish what location you want to give. I already have application in D and E drive, like I already used it. So for me it is showing D drive. Now click on launch. This means where your Eclipse files will be saved. That is the location it is asking. So you can change it also. Have you all ever used Eclipse?
No, we are listening with question.
Okay. So this is how it looks like. Just I will close these files. So in the left side, these are the Java projects. Because in Eclipse IDE, we don't create just one single file. We create an entire project. So we are going to create our new project, okay? So go to File, click on New Java Project. You don't see Java project here, then just click on Project. Here you will see Java project. Click on Next. Now give a project name. So I'm giving a project name like this. Rest don't do anything. Rest all is fine. Click on Next. Click on Finish. You see this folder is created. It's like a project. So when you click on this drop down, you will get these things. Now over here, there are some folders missing actually. So right click on this project, go to build path, configure build path. And just go to libraries actually, or let me see. Yeah, just click on this because it was not tick mark, and click on apply and close. I think there is no difference right now. Okay, let it be. There is no difference because I will tell you later on. We get one folder actually like this. Let me show. Okay, no, not needed. Fine. Okay, don't do anything. Okay, this is fine. You can just go back. I mean, this is not needed. Now, what we will do over here is we have to create a package. We should not directly create a Java file inside the Java project. We should always create a Java package. What is a package? Package means collections of classes. To keep my Java files at one place so that it does not clash with others or it does not get lost anywhere. For that, we should create a package so that we can see all the Java files at one place. So how will you create the package? You see this src folder. Inside this, you have to create your Java package. So right click, new package. Now your package name should actually have some convention to follow, like com.pack, something like this you can give. Means words can be anything, but you can give dot, com.pack.in, anything you like. I'm just giving com.pack. And then click on finish. See, this is the package you have got. Got it? Now inside this package, you have to create a new, see, you will right click on this, just right click, new class. Because a Java program has to be written inside a class, so we have to create a class. Now it is asking for us to give a class name. So our class name should always start with a capital letter. So I will give the class name like demo. Okay, just start with capital D. To give a class name, you should start with capital D and then click on finish. It will give us a structure. Now observe here, this is your Java file. Every Java file has an extension of .java. Can you see demo.java here? .java is the file extension. It means it is a Java file. And every Java program has to be written using a class. Here it is showing the package name that where my class is. Don't remove all this because this is very important. Your package name should be displayed at the top. Now I will just remove this to write the things on my own and show you. How do you start writing the Java program? You have to always create a class. Class. Your class name is demo. Whatever your class name is, your file name will be that. Your class name should match the file name. Right? So here I've created the class demo, and inside the class demo, we will write our code. So you have to open curly brackets. This is the opening bracket, this is the closing bracket. Inside this only you should write your code. Now in Java program, there is a very important method which is called main method. Without main method, my Java program cannot run. It is very important to write the main method actually in your program. So how do you write the main method? You write public static void main like this. Main is a method. What is a method? Method is a block of code actually. It is a, see, this line is by default in Java we have to write because without this line, your Java program cannot run. So by default, this main method is public. Public means it can be accessed anywhere. Static, it is static. Static means it has memory throughout the program. Void means my method does not return anything. That is the meaning of void. Now, this is a method. Every method also have a curly bracket to be given because it denotes a block of code. Whatever logic, whatever code now you will be writing it inside this curly bracket of main method. Now, one thing you need to understand that this main method by default takes some arguments. What is an argument? Argument means you can say some values it takes by default. And those values are of type string. So here we have to write string args. It means it takes an array of type string. Do you all know what is an array? Have you ever heard about arrays? No? Okay.
I know.
Actually, arrays are collection of values. So actually what happens is main method can take collection of values. So to denote collection of values, we have to use an array. So it is represented by using this square bracket. And this args is just a name of the array. You will study arrays later on. Okay, right now you don't have to understand, but I'm just telling you. And what is string means? String means text values. That means it can accept textual values, multiple text values it can accept. Now inside this you will write the code which you want to run. So let's say I just want to display some message on the output screen of this IDE. The output screen is actually called console. You see this console is written. Here you will get the output. So I want to display some output actually. So how will I display the output? In Java, I will use system. System is an inbuilt class in Java. Dot out This system class has a method called out.print. Like this. And inside this, you will pass your message. Let's suppose I want to display good morning. Now, good morning is a text, right? So a text has to be written inside double quotes. Like this. And it should end with a semicolon. Now save your file. Whenever you do any changes in your file, always save it. So to save, you can either go file, click on save, or you can just press Control S. So now how will I run my Java file? This Java program, how will I run? You see this green button here, you can press on it. See, good morning is coming in the output. Okay. Always make sure your Java program ends with a semicolon. In the next line, let's say I want to print something else, I can print that. Let's say you want to print a number, so you can give 12 also here. Again, you can press this green button and it will print 12 as well. Now notice over here that 12 is coming in the same line as good morning. I want 12 in the new line. So what should I do to get 12 in the new line? Just put ln, print ln. In the first line, in the previous line, you put print ln because ln means new line. It will change the line. So the next statement will come in the new line. Let me run this. See, 12 is coming in the new line. So I hope you all have understood this.
Understood.
Sorry? Okay.
Understood.
Okay. So this is the way we get the output in Java. Now, one thing, did you observe that here some words are actually in purple color? Do you know why it is like purple color? What is the reason for that? Because those are actually keywords. They have some meaning, that's why they are in purple color. Like package is a keyword to denote the name of the package. Class is a keyword to denote the name of the class. So whatever keywords are there, they are always in purple color. Okay, now let's move to the next topic. In programming, there is one very important thing which are called comments. Do you know what are comments? Because we use it in all the programming languages. Any idea about comments? Comments are basically used to hide a part of your code. Suppose if I want to hide this line from running, I can use comment for that. So there are two types of comments, single line and multi-line. If I want to hide one single line, I will just put double backward slash. Single line comment means if I want to just hide one line at a time, then I put double backward slash before that line. See, this line turned green. That means now this line will not be displayed in the output. It is hidden. Hidden from whom? It is hidden from the compiler. So I will save my file once again and then again I will run it. I am not getting 12 in the output, right? Because that line is hidden. So I can hide any number of lines I want. Again, if I run, I will not get any output only. See, there is no output because the lines have been hidden. So this is single line comment. If I want to hide more than one line, let's say I have 100 lines and I want to hide all the 100 lines at once. So will I keep on putting backward slash at every line? No, right? It will be so much time taking. No one can hide. No one can keep on writing this backward slash at every line. So for that only we have multi-line. You can hide all the lines at once. So how will we use multi-line is, I'll copy this line multiple times actually. I'm just giving an example of these many only. Now let's suppose I want to hide the lines from line number 9 till line number 16. I want to hide the lines from 9 to 16. I will not keep on putting double backward slash, no, like this every line. This is time taking. So what I can do? Just put slash asterisk and end it with asterisk slash. This way. Now these all lines will be hidden. So I will run my file again. See, I'm getting only 212. Actually, I should use ln. You can see this. So this is how we use comments. Is comments clear to everyone? Should I move to the next topic then?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Now next topic here which we are going to see are variables. What are variables? Variables are name given to any value. Actually, in computer, if I want to store my data, you have to take variables for that. Because I can't directly print 12, good morning. We should not directly print them. Because what if I want to use these values in some another file later on? Or I want to use them in future? How will I use? They are not stored anywhere, no? So to store our values, we have to use variables. So variables are name given to any value. So how do you create a variable in Java? Actually, whatever type of value you are storing, you have to create that type of variable. So before I tell you variables, I will have to tell you what are data types. Data types is the next topic actually. What is data? Data means some value, right? Like 12, good morning, all this is data, right?
Yeah.
Every data has a name that comes under data types. Like what are the different data types we have? We have int,
In
then
float,
yeah, float, then
strings,
double,
arrays.
yeah. Yeah, but those are not data types. Those are arrays are actually data structure.
Okay.
Arrays we are not doing right now. They will come later on. Int, float, double, then string. But string is actually represented like it's a class, or string is a class. It is a data type as well, but it is a class as well. Then char. Char means character values. So we use single quotes for char. This is
Wide,
what?
wide.
No, void is not a data type. It's a return type. See here, void is a return type. We have boolean.
Mhm.
Boolean means only two values, true and false. See turns purple, right? Because they are inbuilt values. You also have long. These are the basic data types in Java. Int means integer values. What is float means? Decimal values. Double also is decimal. String means values inside double quotes, like someone's name. In double quotes, you can put anything. You can put a number, you can put a special character, you can put a letter. Anything which you write inside double quotes is called a string. Then what is char? It is a single value written inside single quotation. And boolean means only two values, true and false. What is long? Long means very big values. Like if you want to store mobile number or very, very big values, you can use long. Now, every data type actually has a size also. They have some capacity, know that this is the amount of data they can hold. So that is represented using bytes. Like integer can store how many bytes of data?
2 or 4 bytes.
4. How much data can float store? 4 bytes. What about double?
8
8.
bytes.
Eight.
Yeah, string does not have any fixed size because it is very changing. What
1
about
byte.
char?
1
No,
byte.
char is 2 bytes. Boolean is 1 byte actually. And what about long?
Huh?
What about long? 8 bytes. This is the size of your data types. Okay, I think today we will keep this much, right? You all should set up Java also, download Eclipse, right? Then in the next class we will continue with variables. Understood?
Okay.
Any other, yeah, any doubts?
No doubt.
Okay. Okay, bye.